Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today. This is the first video on this channel, so I probably shouldn't start with that intro, but I'm doing it anyway. And I have a really awesome deck to start things off with, to kick things off with. It is a red and pink control deck, which I think is probably the strongest, if not one of the strongest. I think it's the strongest archetype in this game, combining the value, the card draw of the pink-purple color along with the control and the just good value bodies that you get with the color red. So we're using particularly the control tools of Dragonfire, banishing a character for 5 ink, really decent. Be Prepared is a great board clear here as well. I don't know if I can, I can even zoom the cards in, look at that. Isn't that awesome? This gets rid of all the characters, a big board wipe, really solid in those control matchups. Or if you've been, how do I unzoom this actually? Oh no. I have to close it up here. Okay. We're getting to grips with with everything going on here. So yeah, we've got some ways to destroy units without challenging. You know, we can get around the need to, you know, allow the opponent to quest before challenging their units. Same thing with Maleficent, very strong late game play here, letting you get a body on the board and killing an opponent's unit. So we've got nice control tools there. Maui is also a really good option on turn 5. Lets you challenge for 6 power, you know, 6 power challenge with rush, really solid to stem any bleeding if you're against aggro, or to just start, you know, controlling some of those bigger units once you get a bit later into the game. So some really good red cards here. Aladdin is another key standout card. We can combo Aladdin in this deck with White Rabbit's Pocket Watch, which lets you give rush to your units. It's an item, so you play it on the board and you can then give rush to things. So we can give rush to Aladdin, and when Aladdin kills units in a challenge, you're going to massively swing the tide in terms of the lore. So we can take 2 lore from the opponent, gain some ourselves. Really helps against aggro decks if you can get the Aladdin on the board. I don't have the young Aladdin, like the 3 ink Aladdin, because I think it's not a very good card, and I think usually you want to be against aggro trading your units off anyway. So keeping the Aladdin on board to use this shift effect, I don't know, not that useful, but you can definitely think about having the other Aladdin in the deck as well. Other than that, we've just got a lot of really good solid value cards. I'm playing 4 of Rafiki. I think this card's really insane. You get that rush. Yes, you can't ink this card, that's a downside, and I know some people won't run 4 of because of that. But the 3 power on that is super key on turn 3. Really lets you deal with some of the nasty aggro cards, you know, things like Simba protecting units, or you know, there's a lot of units, Cheshire Cat and all of these 3 health guys that you just want to deal with ASAP to stop them from snowballing. So yeah, pretty key that one. Maleficent's auto-include, very strong. We've got a lot of card draw with the Magic Mirror, Friends on the other side. So purple gives us the ability to play the long game should we need to do that, while the red gives us some great tools to both late game and, you know, fairly early. We've got the Gaston as well in there just to be able to snipe Simba, to kill these, you know, potentially higher strength units. It's usually just going to trade 1 for 1. You could think about playing a different 2-cost card if you want a bit more presence on the board rather than just trading the units off at the beginning, but I think it's fine. And then we've got Mickey Mouse Broom. You can use this as an anti-mill kind of thing if you get that going. Otherwise, it's just a really solid 4-cost card with the 3 attack, very important. 4 health is very nice. And yeah, I'm playing the Queen as well. I think Queen's pretty good for 5. Gives you a real threat on the board. You can always use that card draw in the slower matchups if you don't need to use her to trade and kill units. Elsa, another finisher. We can also play Elsa onto Elsa with that shift ability. And I think the regular Elsa here is also really solid. Lets you exert enemy units and then trade them off before they get that quest off. So yeah, this deck's got a lot of great tools. It works really well, especially this Elsa's really good with all the rush cards, because you can of course force the opponent to be you know, challengeable. So that works very nicely. And sometimes we're going to play this Archimedes early game as well. So that's a bit of an in-depth look at this deck. I think now we should just jump into some games and see how it plays. Okay, here we go. Get into the game. We're going first. That's usually pretty good, I think. I'm not too unhappy about that. It means the aggro stuff won't be that much of an issue. So let's get rid of Elsa. It's a little high, too high on the mana side of things. Rafaki I really like. I kind of like the pocket watch as well, in case we end up playing the mirror or some kind of a slower matchup. We may want that card, and if not, we can always ink it. I think I'm going to get rid of Friends on the other side. It can be solid, but I kind of want to look for, you know, an early game play. I don't mind keeping Maleficent here, but I do know I've got this Rafiki for turn 3 already, so it might not be that useful having it. I think I'll keep it. Oh no. I ran out of time. I was talking too much. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, it's honestly not a bad hand, so we should be okay here, although I do have the Elsa, which is a little suboptimal. I'm going to ink the Friends here, I think, since we have another one of those in hand. It's a very good card, but we don't necessarily want to play it early on, especially if we're against an aggro deck, and looks like the opponent is some kind of an aggro deck. Looks like they're playing pink, amber aggro. Is it pink or purple? I don't know the technical term. I think I'll get rid of the rabbit pocket watch here and just play the Gaston. If, you know, if we'd seen not an aggro play, perhaps we would consider keeping that for a bit later on. But yeah, this Maleficent can quest for 2, so got Lantern coming down. So they're going to sort of ramp out some of these cheap units. That's kind of fine. We've got the Gaston on the board at the moment, so he can trade very nicely with these units. We might need to, you know, find things like the Aladdin or whatever later on to start swinging the lore back in our favor. The deck can take quite a while to get up to 20, so, you know, play this if you want a bit of a longer game compared to the aggro decks, I suppose you could say. So I might actually burn the Maleficent, play the Rafaki in this next turn. The opponent's taking an awfully long time. Okay, there's the quest. Okay, double Elsa. Obviously this wouldn't have happened if I had mulliganed a bit better. I could also just play the Maleficent, since the Rafaki doesn't really want to challenge right now. It might be better to hold on to that. And just, again, yeah, Friends I'm going to get rid of. Feels a little bad, particularly when we're going to have this 3 ink cost card on the board, but I'm not going to worry too much. We've definitely got some late game. This is not great, not a lot of inkable stuff. But once we do get there, then the Elsas are going to be very, very strong. We might even try to shift this out, if we can find an Elsa to play, you know, a cheaper one. So yeah, Lantern's letting them go a little crazy here. They're going with the Zeus, which has Rush. And trading into Gaston, I don't know about that. Pretty good value for us. We played a 2 ink cost card and traded it for 2 of their cards, so that's pretty nice for us. Be prepared as a draw is not really what I'm seeking here, but play the Rafaki. Just have that on the board, and I think I will attack here so that we get the extra quest value from the Maleficent. There we go. So we've got the board under control for the moment, by the looks of things. Generally that is how this deck goes, you know, after on turn 4, 5, 6, something like that, you typically have out-traded what the opponent's doing with some of these really strong purple cards and whatnot. Okay, they've decided not to exert the Simba there. That makes sense. I think I'm going to have to play the Elsa. Don't really want to go for the ink. It's certainly a little awkward. My mulligan was really bad this game. I think I'm just going to quest with Rafaki because I don't want to give them the Simba trade on Maleficent. I don't mind if they trade into Rafaki, of course. But you see, we've sort of slowed down their aggression. It's a little difficult for them to quickly quest up at this point. Okay, we can also use Elsa to exert an opponent if we want to do that. The magic mirror draw is kind of awkward, honestly. I've been a little bit wrecked by my again by the mulligan. I should have really got rid of some of this stuff. But no worries. Let's... Honestly, I think we just exert with Elsa here. Wait, no, this has got bodyguard, so I guess I have to kill it. Regardless, and then it kind of makes sense to just kill the Maleficent, right, and go for a quest with, you know, I think I don't mind trading the Maleficent here because, you know, I think we're pretty happy if they trade their Lilo into that. These lanterns are not doing very much at this point. It's kind of a little bit of wasted, you know, wasted cards for the opponent. I'm not drawing any ink. Okay, this is just really awkward, honestly. I could go for the magic mirror usage here rather than playing Rafaki. I kind of feel like I am supposed to do that, honestly, because for now I at least have board presence. I can then get an ink going and we'll be able to ramp up a little bit. Definitely a little suboptimal how this game has gone, but we're kind of in control, so I have a lot more cards, and we have the rush with Rafaki if we need that. Okay, Zeus coming down. It's not that scary. I mean, it's quite easy to deal with if they do decide to... If they trade, then, you know, it's also okay. Bit of a shame that my Elsa is gone. I now cannot ramp out this, you know, I cannot do the shift on this Elsa. So that's a little bit on the sad side of things. I can kill Zeus for free. He doesn't have any attack. Do we want to just go with the Mickey Mouse, or do we want to continue to ramp out here is the question. I think I'm supposed to continue ramping, honestly. I could play the Rafaki even, but I think I'm just going to go for another card draw. It does feel a little bit strange. But, you know, I'm playing the long game. And we're not too threatened, I think, right now. So I'm going to keep getting my mana up so that I can offload these Elsas from my hand. The opponent seems to not be doing very much. I'll go Magic Mirror Draw again. Oh, we've got a Magic Broom. Do we want to... I think we want to burn that. You can see the aggro decks really ran out of steam here. I don't think the deck they were playing was very... I'm not sure. I've not really seen Pink Amber that much. I think that's not a very common pick. But yeah, I think this game is pretty under control at this point. Even though we missed a lot of our good mid-game, didn't matter too much this time. I'm going to be able to access those Elsas in a minute, which should sort of lock the opponent out of winning. They do have a Rafaki, okay. So it trades pretty nicely with my board. I mean, this card is just so good, honestly. Aladdin is certainly a consideration here. Aladdin is certainly a consideration if we don't want to go with the Elsa. Kind of like the idea of Aladdin, honestly. I'm going to still burn the Mickey Mouse, but I think getting Aladdin on the board, that should just lock them out of the game, most likely. We're going to take away all the lore that they have. And then I've still got these Elsas to exert anything that needs to be exerted for the Aladdin to then challenge. Nothing for Rafiki to hit. I think we should be okay. So I'm just going to get rid of the Archimedes. There's not necessarily that much point in continuing to ramp, but we do have Magic Mirror, so you know, we may want to use that. Let's play the Elsa. Exert these guys. We can, of course, use the Aladdin, start sniping, start taking away their lore, and I'm actually going to use my Rafiki to quest as well. So yeah, it'll take a few turns now to win, but we've got the Elsa on the board, which quests for 3. The Aladdin, of course, questing as well. We could probably race them at this point. I have more quest value. Really not much the opponent can do, I think. Yeah, be prepared, sometimes a bit awkward. Again, another non-inkable card that performs best in specific matchups. Oh, they have their own Elsa. Okay. It's pretty good time to play the Dragonfire out, probably. You know, there's an argument to also just slam another Elsa. I think I actually should do that. There's kind of no reason not to. I mean, just keep questing. Maybe I should have inked the queen, but I don't think it matters too much at this point. Just get a lot of stuff on the board. We've got +9 quest, so, you know, just be a turn or two now until we've got the win. I can probably afford to, I'll just banish this. I think I'll use Rafiki to kill the Simba. So Aladdin, but I think if we just quest with everything, then there's not much to be done here for the opponent. And we'll get a nice victory there. Okay, let's jump into another game. Okay, I'm going to try to do my mulligan a bit faster this time around. Be prepared, we don't want the magic mirror, arguably. We don't want either, although it's obviously good a fair amount of the time. I'm going to get rid of all my high mana cards. Probably keep the Elsa, I quite like that. Could keep the mirror around, it's pretty good if we're against, you know, a non-aggro deck. Is this the same opponent, in fact? I don't actually know. I feel like the name there was familiar, but... This time going second. I believe I was going first last game. Didn't find any 1 mana cards, which is a little weird. We have a, you know, Gaston to use. I'm gonna burn one of him here because we have the second, so that seems pretty okay. I've got a lot of Rafikis, so we should have a decent, you know, turn 3, turn 4. Okay, so this is a different opponent. It is okay. It's pink and blue. So some ramp, by the looks of things. Not something I'm that afraid of. I might get rid of the Elsa here. There's definitely an argument to keep it because of the shift, but I have so many 3s. I think I like getting rid of it. I felt very bad that I didn't have card draw last game, so maybe I'll try to keep the friends. Particularly in this matchup, where they're going to be a little bit slower, and I think that card draw will be useful. Hopefully we can maybe keep Mickey Mouse around as well as a solid 4-drop. Fishbone Quill. They're really ramping out, so we can expect some quite big units. This should be good for us though, because we have the Dragonfire, we have the control tools to deal with big units from a ramp deck. Should be kind of okay. I guess they're deciding whether they want to quest or not. Okay, big ramp happening. 4 ink for the opponent already. I'm gonna give them even more when I kill that with Gascon. Is the Mickey Mouse better than the card draw here? I think I like the card draw honestly a bit more. It's a little bit strange, but let's get the Rafiki down. I'll attack with the Gaston, to be honest. Keeping the health on Rafiki seems like it might be useful. Gascon we can just sort of throw... Gascon. It's my Gwent history betraying me there. But yeah. Okay, we've got the pocket watch. It's a little bit scary. It gives the ability to give a rush pretty cheaply. Quite a strong card. Particularly if you have units like Aladdin that benefit from challenging. Very chill games. This game might go a bit longer than the last one. That's for sure. Okay, I've got Maleficent. I think I'm going to go for the card draw here. Doesn't seem all that worth it not to sing here. Ooh, we drew the pocket watch. I definitely want to be playing that out here, I think. And we can throw away one Maleficent, I don't mind using that to get a bit more ink. So Aladdin with the watch can be really nice for us. Provided we get up to that banner. Well, they're playing Friends, not singing it though, so we're feeling pretty good about that. Feeling pretty good about that. I have the 3 cost on board, which I can just use to draw pretty freely. Lets me ramp up as well, in a way. Okay, they're running Elsa. Interesting. Does feel like pink is pretty good at anti-aggro just because of Rafiki. Elsa's a pretty solid 3-drop as well with a 3 health. It allows you to trade quite nicely. Okay, let's go for Friends again. Just is really good value to sing the song for free. Okay, Mickey Mouse. I think it's still a bit far away for us to use that, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm gonna play Elsa, and potentially we can even shift onto her. If that's something we want to do. Pretty scary looking board we've got here. The opponent shouldn't really have a way to clear the board in the way that we can with the red color, you know, be prepared. So we're not so vulnerable in that sense. So next turn we can shift, but it might just be better not to do that. There's an argument to actually get rid of the Elsa. Start, you know, inking these low ink cards because they are, you know, not so good. Interesting. Hades coming in, pretty strong blue card that gets rid of a unit, puts it in the inkwell. Oh, another Friends. Okay, I mean, I've got to play that. I think it's just a little bit too good. Maleficent, do we want to get rid of? I mean, I need to keep the mana going up here, even though the opponent's giving me a little bit of help in that regard. I wish I had the mirror on board right now, to be honest, but it might just be a Rafiki play and chill. Then again, we've got Elsa next turn, so there's kind of an argument to play Aladdin. I think I will just play Aladdin. It's another threat, and I have follow-up, so I think not using the watch with it is kind of okay. Usually I'd like to do that, but you know, should be fine. I have a feeling card draw will be a bit of an issue for the opponent, and hopefully we can start threatening a bit of questing with Elsa. Got my Dragonfires if we need them. Pretty good spot to be in, I think. Pretty good spot. Opponent's thinking a lot for having only 3 cards, eh? Do quite like the art for this game. It's pretty. This is where I would emote the opponent because they're taking a while. I'm not sure if there's a rope timer, you know, like a time limit on how long. I guess there must be because I roped my mulligan previously. Okay, that's an Elsa. Yeah, there is. It's just quite a lot of time to think for these turns. So it looks to me like we have a really superb Elsa play here. I mean, this is just very destructive. Very, very destructive. So we could probably kill the Elsa here and then kill the Hades with Aladdin, I think. Plus the Gaston. Just to preserve that extra unit. might come in handy later on. That's their board gone. We now have very powerful questers on the board with the Elsa. Opponents on the clock. And then we can just use Dragon Fires to clean up whatever they have. The deck's very strong when it gets up to the high ink amounts. It's just surviving that early game. That's why we have to run so many 3-drops and 2-drops. Try to get there. They're definitely developing their brain. But yeah, I don't think they've got much value from the items just yet. Okay. So what do we want to go for here? Probably we just want to, you know, play the Maleficent. I think I can save my Elsa. I've already got enough on the board such that we don't really worry, I think, here. I might even play the Rafaki, why not, right? Conquest. Now, I'm making my units a bit vulnerable here to the Pocket Watch. But I don't, you know, the opponent's not really... not getting up to a whole lot. I definitely feel like control in this game feels a lot better to play than aggro. But to be honest, that's how I feel about card games most of the time anyway. Okay, big item value. This is probably getting Dragon Fired away, to be honest. This is the big 8 mana. Seems to be their win condition. I mean, we could choose not to use the Dragonfire, but I think it's just way too good here. And we just go questing. And that should be one more turn until the opponent's dead. Why not? Another Rafaki. This card's just like so decent, even when we're playing it out here in these spots where it's like a little... It's still a 3/3 body, you know? Still pretty intimidating, and it quests 1. It's just very good, very solid. Very, very solid indeed. This deck certainly arguably has maybe 1 or 2 too many non-inks. Maybe, you could make that argument, but it's something like a 3-to-1 ratio, so it should be okay. Okay, Elsa's coming down. I don't know if that'll be enough to save them. I think we have just about enough units to win regardless. So I guess they could maybe give it rush, kill something of mine. It's a bit of a one-sided game. 0 lore, playing 16. We've just done an awful lot more than the opponent this game, and that'll be another win. Very nice. Pretty easy, all things considered. Okay, let's get one last game. Oh, look at that. Lots of inkables. I actually really like seeing all of those. I do want to ink a Gaston, so having 2 of those is kind of cool. Get rid of that for later on, keep our options sort of open. I do think I will get rid of Aladdin and Maleficent, but I'm happy with the rest. You know, we've got a decent curve. We're probably going to find a 3-cost within the next couple of turns, so I'm not too scared. And I will play Archimedes, because if we're against aggro, then getting this down is really, really good. And if we're not, it's a little suboptimal, but it's not the end of the world. If you know you're not against aggro, then you can hold this card and use it as ink. It's not going to be that useful having a 2/2. Okay, a bit of pink and steel. Okay. So Captain Hook challenges. Probably don't want to attack with Archimedes. I mean, we can. You know, I don't know that I want to quest with it. I mean, it's kind of okay too. I think we've got the Pocket Watch Aladdin. I think I'll just get rid of Mickey Mouse. Honestly, I wonder if we even want to play the Gaston. I might just chill, because I don't have a lot of card draw. I think I'm going to chill. I guess I'll quest. should be okay. They can trade that off. I might just, you know, cycle these Gastons because I don't know that they're that useful here. I'd kind of maybe rather play for the card advantage. Okay, we've got Beast's Mirror. So, what do we want to ink here? I think it is Gaston, you know? I think it is Gaston ink. And I think it is the pocket watch being played. That'll be useful in the future, hopefully. Didn't really get use from it last game, but in longer games, it should be really, really good. And I think pink plus steel is usually a bit of a slower deck. With all these challenger units, you know, they're trying to control the board early. And utilize the card draw again and all that stuff. Okay. It's interesting. Do we want to get rid of the Mai? I generally don't love it in the slower matchups, so I think I will get rid of him. I think the Queen will be more of a threat, although we'll find out if I'm wrong about that. I kind of like the idea of keeping the Dragon, even though it's very expensive. It's definitely going to be a card that is good in this matchup. Okay, what do we got here? Some damage coming in. It's a little annoying, but, you know, Mickey Mouse, pretty good stat line, going to be able to deal with this stuff for the time being, so... Probably will have to get rid of Maleficent anyway. I don't know, maybe keeping the Mai? The guy? You know the one I'm talking about? Might have been good. I'm going to get rid of the Elsa, play the Queen. I think I quest with the Mickey. Should be okay. Should be okay to do that. So obviously this is a big threat. If I am able to just draw a card for free, it's very good value. We're getting rushed by Zeus. That's nasty. It's nasty. I definitely played into that a little bit. This is like the big brother of Rafaki, right? Kind of scary, to be honest. Interesting. I could rush with Elsa. I think I'm going to have to do that. I think I have to abandon this Maleficent plan. I'm a little... It's not really going to happen. I think I rush the Elsa out. I kill the Zeus. That should be good. It's just sort of a free kill on that unit. The Queen, I think I also have to kill hands. It's like a little too useful. I'd love to use her ability, but I think in this spot, it's not really going to happen. So we maybe play Aladdin on curve in a minute. It's pretty close, all things considered, this game so far. That Zeus play was really solid. Maybe I might have got a little greedy questing with the Mickey Mouse. Maybe. Okay, Beast is on the board. Is that my pocket watch gone? Yeah. Okay, that's a little sad. I can't really do a whole lot with that. So I guess we're just chilling for now. Okay. So we maybe play for Be Prepared. We let them build up a board and then go for that board clear here. That might be the play. Kind of lacking card draw at the moment. There's kind of an argument to play more than 2 Magic Mirror because that card is really insane having one on the board. We've got some room to maneuver here. Okay, the cannons have been fired. That doesn't really affect us too much. Now we have a pretty important decision to make. Do we play the Aladdin or do we just chill and go for a Be Prepared angle? That is sort of a big question. I'm tempted to just quest with the Elsa. I'm tempted to just quest with the Elsa here. Interesting. You know, bait them to kill it off and then go for Be Prepared. Certainly feels a little scary. I think I am supposed to play the Aladdin here and relax, because I can start really cleaning up their board if everything goes to plan here, goes according to plan. Maybe just keep that be prepared as a backup plan. There's definitely an argument to try to bait them into playing into that, but it's entirely possible they have, you know, damaging cards on hand and they just keep this board, which is perfectly solid, you know. And honestly pretty scary if it's allowed to stay around. Okay, they're actually choosing not to quest, which kind of makes sense when Aladdin's on the board. It's a pretty intimidating guy. Now, I could exert one of these guys and kill them with Aladdin. I feel like doing that on the hands might be worthwhile. Kind of might be worthwhile. If I don't kill the hands, then, you know, they can quest, kill my Aladdin. I think I will take this trade. It seems pretty okay to me. There was also an argument to use the Rafaki and maybe just kill that Aladdin. That was also an idea. But hey, we get some value from the Aladdin. I'm not too upset about it. I think I'm just going to pass here. Maybe use the Be Prepared next turn. I want to deal with this beast. Okay, big Captain Hook coming. Oh, interesting. Looks like my game went a little crazy. Whoa. So I'm guessing they shot with the... Oh god, what's happening? They have no cards? Okay, interesting. I think it's time for Be Prepared, to be honest. We need to get rid of this. All of this junk on the board. Okay, Tinkerbell. We definitely got the mana advantage. If I can use the magic mirror here to get some card draw going again, that'd be really strong. Ooh, Aladdin though is a tempting option. I think I will go for it. Just get that big unit on the board. That Be Prepared really messed them up. I've got invalid deck showing on the bloody screen, mate. How do I get rid of that? Sorry, guys. It's the nature of non-official client. A little buggy at times. I think this game is worth playing to the end. Pretty interesting matchup. I think steel can cause you some problems with the item removal, and in fact the magic mirror might get dealt with, which, you know, would feel a bit bad. Just hoping my late game cards can really do some nice work here. Okay, they just went for the damage. Okay, nothing too scary. I kind of want to just quest with Aladdin, to be honest. I think it's sort of time now to begin doing that. I'll play Magic Mirror, draw a card, quest. They can start drawing with their mirror, which is pretty solid. Pretty cheap. It's cheaper than the Magic Mirror. They're drawing with friends, okay. Rafaki at this point, not super useful, but... Okay, they drew Beast. That's pretty fortunate for them. Does get rid of my mirror. But we have a nice kill with Aladdin here, so I'm feeling pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. There's an argument to kill the Beast, but right now it doesn't trade very well with my board, so I think instead I'm just gonna... Interesting. I think I'm just gonna play the Queen. Try to get some card draw going. If they want to trade Beast into Aladdin, it's fine. I think we've got so much value from him. Opponent's getting up to a pretty high mana count. Maleficent's pretty strong as well. Just able to cycle through. If they can keep getting that Beast mirror draw, then we're feeling a little bit sad. Captain Hook, okay. They may end up firing the cannons, maybe not. Okay. Well, I'm going to take the card draw. It's really good for me. Here we go. Now we're getting to the late game. Now we're getting a bit more to the late game. I probably... I think I ink the Maleficent here. I think I do ink it, and I actually do play the Queen. It's just a nice threat to have on the board. And it works very well in terms of mana efficiency with the Rafiki as well. We know the Queen's most likely going to die to the Cannon Barrage and stuff. It's probably fine. Still holding that Dragon Fire in case we need it. Emergency. Plasma Blaster. Okay, that's kind of nasty, honestly. Lets them quite efficiently start dealing with my units. Now, very much in the mid game, this Beast's Mirror is scary. It's going to start putting in some real work. I don't really have item removal in this deck, so... the opponent's got that going for them. Let's just keep drawing cards. That's great for me. And there we go. We can play the Maleficent. I'm pretty happy to do that. Just get that big unit on the board. Kill that Captain Hook. And that'll make it difficult for them to deal with what we've got going on. Can begin questing soon, probably, as well. Okay, a little baby Captain Hook. No worries. Yeah, by all means, keep playing these little baby units. Okay, perfect. Ooh, and they're even questing, which allows us to play the Rafiki. I think I'm going to play Maleficent. Get that card draw, very nice. Pocket Watch. Yeah, it's not necessary really at the moment. Let's go for some card draw. I'll card draw with this Queen. Ooh, friends as well. I don't think I even need to sing right now. I think I'm just going to pay. Let's do some questing with the dragon. Get a bit closer to victory, threaten that. And more card draw. More card draw. You can't go wrong with more card draw, right? Let's use Rafiki here to kill Maleficent. And I'm pretty happy with that turn. We've got so many cards now, thanks to the Queens. This card's really solid. It's just such a threat. Drawing a card, I mean, it's a ton of value every time. Captain Hooks are going to trade in, I guess. But my board is just so nasty at this point, and I've got plenty of gas in the tank. Now that they've let me draw a few cards. Okay, let's draw some more cards. We can sing with this lady. Lovely lady. Play Maleficent. More card draw. Card draw is the name of the game some of the time. I think even more cards. Get rid of Archimedes for some mana, and then play the Mickey Mouse. And I'm going to quest. There we go. The board is just solid. I've got so many Dragonfires, which honestly there's not even a target worthy of them at the moment. But once there is, I mean, we can play 2 of them in a turn, even. It's getting quite out of hand. I think the opponent's deck's not quite got the late game to match what we're doing with these big, powerful red cards. You know, the red color has some really solid late game. That's the insurance that you want. You know, steel, silver can be pretty good. Pretty good as well. It's not going to be quite a Maleficent level of, you know, of damage being dealt. There's Tinkerbell, that's very strong. Does allow them to kill my dragon. Probably end up using a Dragon Fire on that, just because it's, you know, not something you want to have challenging all your units. Probably one of the strongest cards that they have access to. So I will just banish that for sure. Maybe just develop one of these big lads, I think. Yeah, they've gone and conceded after that. So yeah, another victory. Ignore my rank, I haven't played a whole lot, but I know this deck. It's a lovely deck. Controlling this game, oh god, that sound is destroying my ears right now. Okay, my game is well and truly bugged. Kind of fits with the music. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hope that video was interesting, entertaining, informative. Subscribe for more Lorcana videos. Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.